They may look slow and heavy, but a wild bear can sprint up to 35 miles per hour and crush logs with a single swipe. Every year, these powerful animals cause more than 30,000 incidents of agricultural damage across the U.S., costing farmers over $16 million. By 2025, nearly 750,000 bears roam the country. Countless farms suffer losses to crops, livestock, and property. In places like Alaska, Montana, and Wyoming, the struggle between farmers and bears runs deep. Yet behind the conflict lies a surprising truth. Bear hunting fuels local economies and helps fund wildlife conservation. According to the Wyoming Game and Fish Department, hunting licenses bring in $4.8 million annually, with hunters spending another $12 million on gear, travel, and lodging. In this episode, Agriculture Flow explores how Americans hunt, protect, and profit from their most iconic predator, and the delicate balance between destruction and conservation. So are humans managing nature, or just trying to survive it? Across the U.S., farmers report tens of thousands of bear-related incidents each year. Wild bears trample large areas of fruit trees, breaking branches and uprooting young saplings, which reduces future yields for several seasons. Cornfields and berry patches often show heavy signs of rooting and digging. In Oregon's Willamette Valley, bear activity has destroyed up to 20% of berry crops. In Montana, grizzly bears pushing beyond boundaries are responsible for about 500 livestock attacks annually. In California alone, black bears cause more than $3.5 million in losses by raiding apple orchards, destroying beehives, and killing livestock. Wyoming ranchers face nearly $900,000 in losses each year, while Michigan and Washington report over $1.5 million in crop and property damage combined. But agriculture is only part of the story. In small towns and residential areas, bears break into garages, destroy food stores, and damage vehicles. In 2021, a group camping near Denali National Park had to fend off a black bear that repeatedly broke into their food supplies, leading to minor injuries and a temporary evacuation. In May 2023 in Hunterdon County, New Jersey, a pair of dogs and their owner faced a tense encounter when a bear broke into their property. Fortunately, the incident ended without serious injuries. Environmentally, the imbalance runs deeper. When bear populations expand beyond natural carrying capacity, they compete with wolves and cougars for prey, disrupt deer populations, and even alter forest dynamics. Ironically, while bears destroy crops, they also help reforest America, spreading thousands of seeds in their scat, turning the same farmlands they raid into future forests. To understand the full impact, we need to meet the culprits themselves. Two very different bears with one common trait: their knack for trouble. Across the American wilderness, two species cause nearly every human-bear conflict: the black bear and the grizzly. One is a cunning climber, the other a tank on four legs. Both are smart enough to remember where food once appeared, even years later. The American black bear, weighing between 90 and 150 kilograms, roams forests from California to Michigan. Mostly nocturnal, it slips quietly through orchards and barns, drawn to easy meals, corn, apples, berries, livestock feed. They mate in early summer, with females giving birth to 1 to 3 cubs after hibernation in the winter den. Then there's the grizzly bear, larger, stronger, and far more territorial. In Alaska, Montana, and Wyoming, grizzlies can reach 360 kilograms, capable of sprinting up to 56 kilometers an hour. Their hunger drives them from salmon streams into grazing fields, where they've been known to take down calves, sheep, even full-grown cattle. Grizzlies also mate in late spring to summer, with cubs staying with their mothers for 2 to 3 years. As urban sprawl expands, the world of these two bears overlap more with ours, and that overlap turns deadly. The question becomes, how do we keep their numbers in check without tipping the balance too far? To protect both people and bears, wildlife agencies rely on a combination of controlled hunting. The goal isn't to wipe bears out, it's to restore balance where coexistence has broken down. Across the U.S., roughly 40,000 to 50,000 bears are legally harvested each year, mostly black bears. Seasons and quotas vary widely. In Alaska, hunters can pursue brown bears in both spring and fall, with limits reaching up to 5 per year in certain units. Western states like Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and Washington regulate brown bear hunts carefully around Yellowstone, while northern states, Michigan, Minnesota, Maine, and Wisconsin, harvest thousands of black bears annually under strict lottery systems. Even California and several eastern states maintain tightly managed seasons to prevent overpopulation and ecological imbalance. But hunting a bear is far from easy. It begins with tracking, an art that blends patience and instinct. Hunters scour riverbanks and forest trails for claw marks, scat, or overturned logs. These small details reveal where a bear feeds, travels, or rests. Every movement must be silent. A step on dry leaves could end the hunt before it begins. Their gear is just as important as their skill. For black bears, hunters often choose medium calibers like the .243, .270, or .30-06 for balance and precision. For grizzlies, heavier rounds like the .300 Win Mag or .375 H&H ensure a clean, ethical kill. A well-placed shot to the vital organs is always the goal, both for safety and respect for the animal. Technology has reshaped the hunt. Electronic collars mimic prey, distress cries to lure bears closer, while GPS and rangefinders guide hunters through rugged terrain. In regions like Alaska, trained hounds remain indispensable. These dogs can follow scent trails through dense timber and help flush bears from cover, making the encounter controlled rather than chaotic. Regulations, however, tightly restrict baiting, dog use, and guide requirements. Despite their power, bears are creatures of habit. They walk familiar routes and avoid confrontation. Skilled hunters know this and wait, hidden in the wind, for that single perfect moment when instinct, patience, and precision meet. Once a bear is taken, the story is far from over. What happens next reveals a surprising blend of tradition, skill, and respect for the animal. How do hunters turn this massive beast from wild trophy into treasured resource without losing a single valuable ounce? The first critical step is field dressing, removing the guts to cool the meat quickly and prevent spoilage. Many states, especially those with strict wildlife laws like Alaska, require hunters to gut the bear before moving the carcass, a practice as much about preservation as regulation. Next comes the careful salvage of the hide, the thick fur, claws, and skull. In many places, hunters must submit these parts for inspection to verify sex and age, ensuring population control measures remain effective. The hide doesn't just rest in storage. Many send it to skilled tanners or taxidermists, transforming raw pelts into stunning trophies. Rugs that warm cabin floors or wall-mounted mounts that immortalize the hunt. A black bear's shoulder mount might cost around $2,200, while a grand grizzly mount can fetch nearly $6,000, reflecting the skill and artistry involved. Raw bear hides sell wholesale between $1.34 to $2.68 per kilogram, but finished products command premium prices. Skin rugs range from $600 for a smaller black bear to as much as $7,000 for a large brown bear. Meanwhile, certain parts like bear paws or claws sometimes find their way into illicit markets, where a pair can fetch anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000, driven by demand in traditional medicines and exotic goods. The bear's meat is a valuable resource. A single black bear can yield over 45 kilograms of lean, protein-rich meat, high in iron and omega fats. Depending on quality and cut, processed bear meat can sell for $20 to $40 per pound, especially when made into jerky, smoked hams, or gourmet sausages. In rural Alaska and northern Maine, it's traded locally, sustaining both families and small markets. To hunters, cooking bear stew or grilled backstrap is tradition, a way to honor the animal's strength while turning the wilderness into both nourishment and livelihood. But the value of a bear stretches well beyond meat and mounts. It reaches deep into local economies and even global tourism. In Yellowstone National Park, where both black bears and grizzlies roam, visitors travel from across the world for just one glimpse. According to studies by the U.S. Geological Survey and the National Park Service, each sighting of a grizzly is worth about $16 per visitor. A black bear, about $14. Multiply that by millions of visitors every year, and those fleeting moments of awe translate into millions of dollars. Roughly $6.9 million in value from grizzly sightings and up to $9.7 million from black bears annually. Broken down further, one grizzly alone contributes an estimated $46,000 every year, while each black bear adds around $15,000 to the local economy, just by being seen. But tourism is only one side of the story. Across the U.S., regulated hunting also generates significant revenue. In Montana, a black bear hunting license costs between $250 and $400. In Alaska, a grizzly tag for non-residents can reach $1,000 to $2,500. That's before the added expenses of guides, gear, lodging, and transport, all fueling small-town economies where every dollar counts. In Wyoming, for instance, bear hunting alone brings in over $1 million each year from license fees alone, not including the ripple effects across outfitters, restaurants, and local services. These funds don't just vanish into state coffers. They circle back into conservation, tracking populations, funding research, and educating the next generation about coexistence with wildlife. It's a system where the very act of hunting helps ensure bears remain part of America's wild future. A balance between economy and ecology that few other industries manage to achieve. Here's something most people don't realize. Economists once calculated that a living grizzly over its lifetime can generate more money through tourism than a trophy mount ever could. Still, not everyone agrees on the role hunting should play, sparking fierce debates about ethics, conservation, and the future of America's wild spaces. Supporters call it tradition and population control. Critics see it as cruelty disguised as sport. Environmental groups warn that hunting can disturb fragile ecosystems and fuel illegal trade in bear parts, with penalties reaching thousands of dollars and even jail time. In 2015, Florida's first black bear hunt in over a decade ended abruptly after hunters exceeded quotas in just 2 days, sparking public outrage over poor data and weak oversight. Controversy also surrounds methods like baiting or hound chasing, criticized as unfair and unethical. Yet rural communities insist hunting keeps bears wary and supports local economies. A century ago, black bears were nearly wiped out in parts of the country. Today, thanks to science-based management, and yes, even regulated hunting, their numbers have rebounded to more than 600,000 nationwide. As we've seen, the relationship between humans and bears is complex, woven with challenges, opportunities, and a delicate dance of coexistence. The economic and ecological value bears bring to our landscapes is undeniable, yet managing their populations demands ongoing innovation, respect, and vigilance. Moving forward, balancing conservation with community needs will remain a critical test, one that calls for science-driven policies, informed hunters, and engaged citizens alike. What do you think is the most important step we can take to ensure a sustainable future for both bears and people? Drop your thoughts below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Stay tuned for more eye-opening insights and stories that connect agriculture, wildlife, and the environment. Until next time, this is Agriculture Flow, helping you see the bigger picture in every harvest.